Hello, Otaku, back again for some more crypto chaos and mayhem in the markets. How are you guys doing today? Hopefully your bags are back up again. We had a little bit more of a sell-off here at GRAYSCALE. We are consolidating back up. Let's dive into it. So yeah, we can see that we're hitting a resistance down at 64.5, 65. We're about ready to lift off as here's like the foreign markets are popping yet again. But yeah, we did see a bit of a pullback as traditional markets kind of took the center stage. Today, I wanted to kind of get into that as well. Gold. Gold is up. Yeah, let's take a look at that real quick. Gold is up with interesting. Gold here. We actually fell off a little bit earlier morning, but yeah, we hit an all-time high this morning on gold, or yesterday on gold. That is a new all-time high for gold, not Bitcoin, which is a shame. But this is kind of the beginning of, I think, us starting to notice Wall Street and how they tend to trade the market. We covered this last night before the breakout of both gold and Bitcoin, but gold had a bit more of a surge. I think part of this is probably due to the fact that the rest of the market is figuring out that the rest of the fiat currencies in some of the third world countries are now being debased by the dollar. So first thing to go to is gold, and then the more educated, smart money, or smarter money, are going to go to Bitcoin. So it'll take a little bit for this to pick back up, but yeah, we're right around the corner. It'll be no time before we start to see higher highs for Bitcoin. In the market, let's go. Other news, a lot of the other altcoins, man, a lot of these are popping off in a big way too. I think we had Solana. It's been a really busy week for me. I've been kind of out of it. But yeah, Solana did touch back at 210. Look at this. That was a new year-to-date high yesterday evening, or a couple days ago. Yeah, I am behind, man. Oh my god. But we did kind of come back up and retest around 200 earlier today. Everything is kind of looking like the same alongside Bitcoin right now. Jasmine broke out. Awesome. Jasmine's back up to 2 cents, 2.1 cents, which is cool. We almost hit the 2.5 mark. Again, we got to get a long way to go to get back to our previous year-to-date high, which was 2.8 cents. So I'm excited for that. Everything else is kind of just making the rounds, really. We're waiting on again smarter money to kind of get back in. We have a little bit of a pullback. Nothing concerning. Got time. We got time. Yeah, hopefully your pay week or payday is coming up. You can pick up a little bit more. Unfortunately, I don't get paid this week. I'm gonna have settle on what I've got. But yeah, we made a pretty big buy-in down here around 62, 63. I bought in 1%. And yeah, that was probably the last big pickup I want to have for Bitcoin for a very, very long time. We could always retest these levels. That's always true. But I don't see us going back down anytime soon. Again, since we have less than, 30 days now to the Bitcoin halving? God, are you kidding me? It's going to get nuts. 29 days, 3 hours, 49 minutes, and 33 seconds until the 420 blaze it. Bitcoin halving. And you know it's coming. It's coming fast. It's coming so fast. Yeah, and we will be there before you know it. It's actually earlier than this. Some experts have predicted that we're still in between like the 15th to the 25th. Some experts are believing it's going to be more like the 15th. That's even more bullish, right? That's 4 or 5 days more than closer than I have. Like 25, 26 days until the 420 plays it. So yeah, that's the date we're tracking here. And there's a lot of FUD happening still. It's kind of silly, really nonsense, really. And ETH is kind of ignoring it, but it's mostly centered around ETH, right? The second largest crypto by market cap. Yeah, it's a bit of and we covered this a little bit yesterday, how basically ETH is under attack by the SEC, Exchange Commission, trying to reappeal and say that it's a security again. We've been down this road so many times. I'm so sick of it. So sick of it. And yeah, Patrick Henry also said, "Oh, is it a security or is it a commodity?" And it's so stupid because I'm pretty sure he still didn't. He still didn't. We'll have to go over that. It happened last year, but he did not say whether or not he could. Even though he already established it to the courts, it was a commodity. That Bitcoin and Ethereum were both commodities last year. Patrick Henry had him on the witness stand and could not get him to say that Ethereum was a commodity or a security. Yeah, and that's still ongoing, and some people are saying it's because we went from proof of work to proof of stake. I think that he's been on record saying it's a commodity since we've been on proof of stake. It's been a long time since we've been on proof of work. I mean, that was back in 2021. I think is when the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022 went from proof of work to proof of stake in the Shanghai upgrade. That was a long time ago, man. That was a long time ago. Man, it feels like forever ago. It was probably like 2 years ago. So yeah, that's still going on. That's holding us up, holding us all up. And the bigger days are coming. Larry Fink, yeah, we covered this as well yesterday. Just kind of diving back into it. Mr. Larry Fink. No one really was on the news today covering crypto. I tried to find some better videos to cover today. There really wasn't anyone big in the spotlight. Yahoo News was covering crypto. CNBC was covering crypto as always, but nothing really exciting, earth-breaking, earth-shattering. Just have what's behind this recent sell-off. They're probably just talking about, the GRAYSCALE ETFs. Still selling off pretty large. Yesterday we got a very large out. The GRAYSCALE ETF. So I figured I'd play a few minutes of this and then a few minutes of Anthony Pompliano, since like two big videos I could really notably interesting. Pompliano did this little quick excerpt again about the Bitcoin super cycle. As we all know, this time is different. It is different. I don't care what anyone says. It is different. Just how different is it though? That's the big question. And yeah, we're gonna play a couple. See what's up and psychoanalyze the news.
What do you think is behind the sell-off, and how much of it is attributed to profit taking and the heavy outflows from the GRAYSCALE Bitcoin Trust?
I think it's important to look at the big picture. And Bitcoin's up 47% year to date. Put that in perspective, the S&P is up 7.5%. Ethereum, which doesn't have the ETF bump, is up 37.5% today. So I think these outflows or the decrease in price, which is pretty well telegraphed, are more to do with the macro environment rather than anything specific to Bitcoin or the ETF right now. I mean, this has been a staggered step down from 73 into the sort of mid 60s. I think it's normal retracement, but nothing significant. And I fully expect that the price increase will continue to go from here.
So you think Bitcoin will continue to rise? Do you think we'll see more fresh highs? And if so, what are the factors that will contribute to?
Basically, he's got nothing to contribute. Station, that's great. Let's see what Pompliano has to say about the super cycle.
We've got to go backwards to understand what's already happened. Every single time that we've had a Bitcoin halving, Within the next 18 months, we get all-time high prices, and Bitcoin has gone up hundreds, if not thousands of percent. It's really exciting. It makes people think that it could happen again. Well, one of the things that we also have to understand is during those past bull markets, there have been major drawdowns along the way. We have seen, for example, that there will be multiple 20 plus drawdowns in a single bull market. If we go back to and look at the 2017 bull market, there was 10 or 12 of these drawdowns of more than 10%. If we go and we look at 2020, same thing. On the way up, there's lots of volatility to the upside, but you also get these corrections of 10, 20, 30%. And so naturally, when we get into the drawdowns like we are in right now, people ask, is this different? Should we expect that to have been the top of $72,000? Well, the short answer is no. The current drawdown that we're experiencing in Bitcoin is only about 15%. Historically, we've seen the average drawdown in the last two bull markets be closer to 20+%. Sometimes it can go up to 30%. And so naturally, a 15% drawdown actually means that we've had less volatility, not more, during this current bull market. Now, one of the other questions that comes up is that we have violated some of the past rules. Historically, when people talked about bull markets, they would say to themselves, okay, well, in the drawdown or the bear market, we never went below the previous all-time high price. As you know, in 2022, though, we violated it. We went below 20,000, which was the past cycle's all-time high. And so, does that mean this cycle is different? Well, then, on the way back up, we also violated a second rule, which was that we never get to an all-time high in Bitcoin's price before the halving. We just hit a new all-time high, and the halving is still a couple of weeks away. So now we have violated two of the rules that everyone said never happens.
4 weeks.
So yes, in one hand, this is different. We don't know what the future holds. We have violated things that were serving as these kind of guardrails or these guidance paths. And so we are in uncharted territory in that sense. At the same time, usually what we have seen is that Bitcoin has been this great index for what many people thought were interest rate environments. They said, oh, when interest rates are low, Bitcoin went up in price. When interest rates got raised, Bitcoin crashed. But now we sit here and Bitcoin is near all-time highs and interest rates are still 5.5% or higher in the United States. And so is this time different? Well, Bitcoin has violated the narrative saying that Bitcoin was only a zero interest rate phenomenon. Bitcoin continues to be resilient regardless of the interest rate environment. And so then you can say, well, what exactly is Bitcoin? From all of the data that I've looked at, it appears that Bitcoin is actually an index for global liquidity. Now, what is a very interesting time period right now, where as we look at the cycles, it is different and it is not different. But then if we expand out past the halvings, we can also see that there are many major players to keep your eye on. The ETS we've already talked about, but there's El Salvador being the first country to go and buy thousands of Bitcoin, almost 6,000.
Yep. Salvador's buying Bitcoin, and everyone else is buying Bitcoin, and your mom is hopefully buying Bitcoin, because if she's not keeping your name alive, that's for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same stuff we've been talking about. 6-7 weeks. But yeah, I did want to touch this too quick before I get too far ahead of the scheduled program. We did cover this the last 2 days, but it's still a big key player because Coinbase now with Base is looking to be a rivaling layer 1, and we're gonna have to take a look at that because yeah, they are converting their stock, their shares into basically the MicroStrategy play, the MicroStrategy Bitcoin strategy, as MicroStrategy changes their company name to Bitcoin strategy. Not kidding, but not really kidding. So yeah, Coinbase on Tuesday plans to offer $1 billion in convertible notes targeted at institutional investors, set to mature in 20. Trading platform also intends to provide an option that initial buyers should purchase an additional $150 million in notes to cover the over allotment. Offering aims to convert the notes into cash. Shares of the Cash A stock or a combination thereof depends on preference. Bitcoin. They have to get more over-the-counter Bitcoin. This is a known fact. All drying up. Exchanges are drying. It's been a while since we actually looked at the exchanges. Take a look at that real quick. Coinbase. But yeah, they're drying up. The exchanges are drying up. Bitcoin is getting sold off to all hell. Look at this thing. As we've basically dwindled at the beginning of the year. all the exchanges reserved. Still sitting at 1.8 million. I mean, we do trade, we do buy and sell, and trade, but it's still going down. Demand keeps going. Volume is definitely going up. The price is definitely going up. I mean, look at this. Everyone's so bearish, but look how crazy this is when it comes to stock flow. Too crazy. There's so much stuff to cover, as always, here in the crypto market. Yeah, so that's what's going on in CoinGlass. Still 1.8 on the exchanges. Yeah, we have to get on the over-the-counter exchanges. That's what their plan is, I assume. That's why they're doing this, to do the whole MicroStrategy thing. The infinite money glitch, or code, you know, if you will. Put in your GameShark codes. Let's go! The GameShark code is for unlimited money. Yay! Unlimited money and unlimited Bitcoin. You just have to have a large enough enough company to dip your bags into liquidity. Pull it out. Anywho, so that's what's going on with Coinbase. I thought I would cover that up again. It's not dwindling down, and Coinbase is really competing out there to be a layer one to really shake up market. Where is Base at? From there's too many coins. Base protocol. I mean, that's pretty early. Billion. Oh. Yeah, I've seen. Oh my god. I never even really looked into so much negative stigma in it. I really don't touch any crypto exchange tokens, to be honest. People are betting big on Base though, apparently. Yeah, we had to choose, would it be Base or Solana? I mean, who's betting on? Well, I mean, everyone is going to flock to Base. We basically eliminated all other exchanges in North America. Coinbase is kind of the major player here in the United States. Binance is elsewhere, but what we got, we've by process of elimination, the SEC has gone after and basically obstructed all other exchanges. We'll see. I wanted to dive into this too a little bit. Web3 Gaming Sucks Party. This happened yesterday. This was pretty cool. It was a organized. Did a panel. They had a booth. But yeah, they showed off a lot of really cool things. A gaming space. Brits, man. Here's AVAX article. What are Web3 games? If you don't know what Web3 games are, please do your due diligence. Oh my god, I don't want to die. or Web3 gaming, right? Gaming, free, you know, crypto with crypto assets. Talk about new NFTs, crypto coins being traded and offered. We talk about it all the time about how it's going to change the gaming space. It's going to be the beginning of the dystopian future. You know, the world that we live in. It's here. We live in it. It's already too late. It's taken over. Ay. But yeah, there were some pretty cool things going down. Shrapnel. I gotta probably stop using Braves. Video to pop. Look at that, Paul Barron.
Look at connections with.
So just chill out. You know, drink a 7-Up, eat a moon pie, quit murdering people.
Yeah. Nothing. There we go. We'll dive a little bit into see what he covered about
Crypto.
at
does-
GDC. Here it is.
Kudos to Avalanche. This was their booth over at GDC. And guess where they were? They were right there at the escalator. So everybody that's coming down, they get a chance to see that right there. So well placed,
That's
well
freaking
played
awesome.
by the people at AVAX Gaming. Definitely doing a good job at introducing this. All right, so further into GDC, Shrapnel adds an in-game marketplace on Epic Game Store as an 80,000 event begins. And of course, what they're talking about is 80,000 for the marketplace. And I think this is another place where Shrapnel is going to continue to drop a lot of these NFTs. And remember, with Shrapnel, you've got all those.
If you're new to the Web3 gaming space, Shrapnel is we should probably do a deep dive into that. Shrapnel is that new game by what's his name? Dr. Disrespect. Promoting it. Co-developed. And yeah, they dropped a whole bunch of things. It was pretty cool for their game. Yeah, I forgot about this too. This happened. Freaking Linus. Ugh. We really need to start educating. I know Linus knows what crypto is, but he's so over the. Just listen.
Talking about the strategy that Dr. Disrespect was doing. Take a look.
Dr. Disrespect, developing an FPS game, but Midnight Society is graciously offering a select group of 10,000 community members a $50 Founders Access Pass that will provide access to early builds, Discord channels, and the chance to vote on key design decisions.
So, pause for a second.
They just...
I honestly don't see. I mean, I would say the entry is a little high, but my initial reaction is that's early access game. I mean, it looks like it's doing okay. I mean, the early stages, the game looked terrible, but it's not that bad looking right now. Let's see what Linus had to say.
Put NFTs and loot boxes and paid early access together.
Let's go.
It's like one middle finger wasn't enough. Can I be a billionaire, please? Can we just embrace this?
No.
Okay.
All right, well, let's.
Yeah, I don't think that reaction was fair, to be honest. If you're new to NFTs, I mean, you can flip some of these freaking NFTs for thousands of dollars sometimes, okay? It really depends on how well this game is backed in the future of the Shrapnel. But yeah, I mean, Yeah, some of these
are going to be developed in the future.
Yeah, the
You might
price
as well get used to it, Linus. This is what's going to happen. And by the way, if you look at the NFT, that guy that spent the $50 right now, well, you know, it's worth 500. So
what? It's already worth $500. What? This is what I'm talking about. Probably already sold. Everyone's really quick on these NFT drops. Yeah, I mean, let's go take a look real quick right now. Let's go take a look real quick. My skins already. There, $50. Fully act. But yeah, we gotta get people more educated to understand NFTs are not the problem. The problem are all these corporations that have been forever giving you the option to only buy loot boxes and never being able to repurpose, resell, or trade any of your gaming assets. I don't know about you, but when I started playing online games back in, oh god, early 2000s, all the MMOs back then, like Star Wars Galaxy and Lord of the Rings Online and Matrix Online, and you had your own tradable, you know, economies, right? In Star Wars Galaxies, for example, you were able to like buy and sell literally anything. It was like a sandbox MMO. You could build where you wanted to build. You could, but the difference is from games like today, you could literally trade every single item in the game between players. There's very few game items that were like locked down and tied to your account, right? They were very limited or like count locked items. But every MMO I played now, it's all been you can't trade anything if it's tied to your account. If you use it once, it's tied forever. And this changes all that. NFTs change all that. We go back into the traditional gaming system, and on top of that, you have monetary value for your gaming assets. Can we stop fudding NFTs? It's driving me insane. And Linus, I just want to punch him in the face. I just want to punch him in the face because he just keeps spreading it, and the simps eat it up. Like, oh yeah, I hate NFTs. Yeah, NFTs. And the funny thing was, his co-host his reaction was like the complete opposite right away. He's like, oh yeah, and then Linus just kind of dumped it down, and he, as a normal simp, just fell into place. So I hate seeing stuff like that. I hate talking about big giant influencers that way, but I really always thought that Linus's crowd always catered to the simps, and it still seems to be that way. So yeah, that's what's going on with NFT gaming right now. I thought that was really interesting to cover. We're gonna see more and more about this, and people gotta get good. Ridiculous. Gonna make all gaming so much better for anyone who hates when their favorite game goes off the air and you've put in thousands of hours and you got nothing out of it monetarily. So your time is worth something. Worth something too. Yeah, I can tell you. I recently stopped playing Phantasy Star Online, Phantasy Star 2, and I can tell you I left a lot of really good items behind. I can't do nothing with. Shame, because I'm sure there's other people that are playing the game right now would really enjoy them. I'd have to either go on eBay, sell my account, do the thing. Anywho, I'm done ranting about NFTs and gaming. Thank you. Shout out to Paul Barron. Hey, we just took a bunch of your content. Thanks again. Anywho, the ETFs. Boom. Where we have the ETFs. 239. We're still not up to. They're still showing the 20th. Today's 21st. Always, look at that. They bought pretty much nothing. That's a shame. Whoa. I guess yesterday would be at least 2,000 to 3,000. Since we were sitting at a $68,000 Bitcoin. I think we're starting to get the FUD into the asset manager's hand, right? We had once. I mean, this is considered a big pullback for some of these asset managers. Been nothing but up until. So we're starting to see some FUD. We need some more FOMO. That's what we need. That's the solution, right? That's the orange pill for you. So looks like we divulged into gold a little bit this week after the FOMC meeting. We also have a huge sell-off still going on with GRAYSCALE, as they are dwindling down to 355,000 Bitcoin. Remember, we started this ETF rally. GRAYSCALE opened at 650,000 Bitcoin. It's been a massive sell-off. Massive sell. So between yesterday's sell-off of the GRAYSCALE and the lack of buy-in on IBIT, we're starting to feel that now. We're not getting the 1-to-1 ratio to level it back off. So we'll see how that goes today. I'd say by this movement right here, this price action, they usually purchase Bitcoin around clock. That was probably all the settling with base. This so this was their buy-in today. Boom. Sell-offs probably happened for probably a majority of. So it looks like we probably got the same amount. And I'm just guessing by the link. When when the ETFs buy in and settle with Coinbase. So that would be my guess. It could also be that over the counter is completely dried up, and they have to wait for Bitcoin to be settled on the exchange, go to over the counter, and then them to be purchased up after hours. So yeah, that would be my guess what's going on. It could be literally anything, or given their 2 cents. But man, look at this. It's a pretty good day today in terms of for Jasmine. Look at this. Everything's down on the day, on the week. Man, it's been a bloodbath. But this is the time to buy. If I can move some money around this weekend, maybe sell something, try to pick up. Oh, what would I be buying though? I don't know. I'd like to pick up maybe a little bit more Atom. Atom again is a really good. If you want to make a good yield, it's got one of the highest. I covered this last night with a friend of mine, a Zoomer, believe it or not. One of my friends. Shout out to a Dragon. You know who you are. Zoomer of the age of 17, man. Damn, freaking awesome guy. Met him on gaming years and years ago, back when he was probably 13 or 14 or something, playing Apex Legends. Man, I love that game. Freaking awesome. And yeah, my gaming community, we picked him up. He was freaking lit for a teenager. Oh my god. Definitely could do a headshot pretty damn well. An asset to our team as always. But anyway, he finally reached out to me, knowing that I was obsessed with crypto. How you know that we're starting to get a little bit of retail FOMO in. I've got 2 friends now that are kind of really getting more interested about crypto. And so he reached out to me and he said, oh, my uncle got me back into crypto. And I'm like, you're 17, dude. Are you kidding me? That's freaking awesome. So the Gen Zers, this is my target audience. I really am trying to help that generation. Because man, this is not gonna end well for your retirement. I know it's so crazy to think about retirement when you're 17 years old. But yeah, props out to Dragon to watch this. Yeah, it's pretty awesome getting in phase so early. in your time horizon. So anyway, we were just kind of going over, and I was trying to pick out some winners in terms of like risk to reward, because you can't really refer people to Bitcoin right away. Yeah, it's better to have nothing. It's better to have anything but zero, right? And I kind of pulled. So I've been buying in, like I said, I bought in a whole 1% a week. I thought about doing a thought experiment just to kind of like push motivation. Just keeping this in a separate wallet. Discord. My Discord is going to be open at some point when we start to build a community here on YouTube. We are going to convert this into a crypto community, a crypto gaming community. So yeah, I purchased about 1% yesterday. Just kind of did a quick moon math, right? Quick moon community. Want to reach out? I'm a Crypto Otaku current community. More crypto themed again as we go. But anyway, I did some moon math after making a quick 1% purchase yesterday around 63. Got snagged up just a bit shy of. And yeah, thinking about keeping this in a 1% in a separate wallet to keep track of how ridiculous it will be when Bitcoin is 100K at $1,000, $1 million, 10 grand, 1%, and 100 million Bitcoin could be worth $100,000. Again, only 1%. And I've got some just penciled in time horizons there. I mean, we're probably gonna hit 100,000 this year. So I'm just kind of throwing in quick moon math, 5 years apart. So that's a 10-year difference. Because Kathy Wood, I think, is predicting a $1 million Bitcoin by 20. Oh, well, a $2 million Bitcoin by 2028 now. Instead of, or no, for 2030. So there will be $1 million somewhere between 2020 per time horizon. And then like Fidelity, this is where I'm getting these. Fidelity put out the prediction that we're going to go to $1 billion Bitcoin by 2038 or something like that. So I'm like 100 million. If their prediction's $1 billion, we should be somewhere between 1 and 10 million by 35 at least. So yeah, that Bitcoin could be worth somewhere between 20 grand, 50 grand, or $100,000 by 2035. And yeah, I was actually going through, and he paid attention pretty well for a Zoomer. I got to give him that. He didn't fall asleep on me at least. But I did go through the When Moon. If you're not familiar, if it's the first time checking me out, I like to go back to this. It's an API built on Observable HQ called When Moon. When Lambo. Tied to the meme, right? And yeah, basically you take your stack size, how much you have in Bitcoin, and you can kind of figure out where you'd be able to retire if you planned on retiring on your Bitcoin by a certain date. It even gives you a DCA strategy out to retire on your Bitcoin, how much you retire with. So right now, if you wanted to retire with 1 Bitcoin and you wanted to at least get $100,000 a year out of your Bitcoin, retirement rate, and supply for inflation, I just leave these go. These are based on averages that are populated with API. Pretty cool. It does all that for you. I think we're going to be a higher annual appreciation rate of higher than 38 though, because again, this time is different. The institutions are in. They are here. And yeah, it's about to get crazy real quick. Again, reminding you that we are living in a dystopian future. If you do not get your retirement in Bitcoin, I don't know how to help you. It's all going to zero against Bitcoin. Man. So yeah, yeah. So you're if you had 1 Bitcoin and you plan to retire, you'd be looking at, and you wanted to get at least $100,000 a year out of your Bitcoin for the rest of your life. You could retire 2033. Not that far away in your time horizon if you have 1 Bitcoin. I mean, that's right around the corner. We're talking like, what's 7 years? Yeah, I mean, nothing. 8 years? 10 years? Moon math, right? Moon math. So yeah, your stack could be worth 1.8 billion by 2033. That's kind of within the time horizon. I'd say we're probably gonna be higher than that though. Just again, by Kathy Wood's prediction, we're gonna be at 2.3 million dollars by 2028, 2030. So yeah, this could also change too. The inflation could be a lot higher. We could be your purchasing power could be less. There's so many other factors, but just giving you a rough idea of how crazy this is gonna change your life. Purchasing power, long-term obtainable wealth. This is gonna be huge. And so I was talking to the Zoomer, right? My buddy Dragon, and if he had 1% of a Bitcoin, which right now is only trading around $650 and some change or something like that. As current Bitcoin price is 65.7, right? 5,000. We are still really cheap. And yeah, so if you had 1% of a Bitcoin, you wanted to retire, say less, like 50 grand. I don't know how much, if that's still gonna be worth what it's worth today, probably not. But you'd still be able to retire in 2052 on just 1% of a Bitcoin. 1%. That's nothing, man. That's nothing for the average person. $650. Even if it took you all year to grab up at least 1% of a Bitcoin, just to ensure that you have a way to retire, this is a no-brainer. A no-brainer at all. And for those that are lucky and more fortunate to get 0.1, you'd be able to retire much. The 1 Bitcoin. So just play around with this if you get a chance. I find it super fun, and it's always fun to have an imagination and see where you're going to be at here in the future, because you could be, again, you could have so much a better life. Standard. I cover this a few times too every week. That I live on a Bitcoin standard. I don't encourage everyone to do it. It's not for everyone. I'm a single individual. I don't have a wife and kids and all that. So I do have a little bit more disposable income. But I have currently $1 in my bank account. Maybe not today. I've had a little bit more today to pay my bills. But some days I just have $1 sitting in my bank account. The way that I live. So I live on a Bitcoin standard. Definitely changed my entire life. Been doing this now for about 2 years. Every dollar goes to Bitcoin. If I'm not using it, it's sitting in Bitcoin. So I think it's a great way to do that. Again, it's not new. I'm not new to this. I'm not the first one to do it. We had baseball. I mean, yeah, I think baseball, football players, basketball players accepting their entire, income. So yeah, think about that. Something really cool. I like going over this. It's always fun to play around with a few. But anywho, I just wanted to cover that about the Zoomer that could. Maybe one day I'll have him on the show. He's got a couple hundred now at least. He's gonna be doing the right thing. Anywho, yeah, we're gonna go into Google Trends again, see if Bitcoin's even back. I doubt it. The simps are winning. They're ignoring our space. Ooh, we got Solana though. Look at that. Oh, that's coin. Oh my god. Yeah, we're coming. This is kind of sad, and that was our all-time high, I think. No, that was. That's pretty much rolled off. This is time to be buying and searching, doing research. Gone up 250% though in terms of related top. Why is Bitcoin going down 900%? Hopefully you know why Bitcoin's going down because you pay attention here on the channel. Our great YouTube influencers. Shout out to everyone out there. Keep doing the Lord's work. Bitcoin channel. Yeah, so let's just look at the trending now real quick, and then we'll move on. News articles. As it gets closer to 9 o'clock, foreign markets opening up for the last day. That's Friday, the 22nd, here in Japan's already up, third largest economy, and China is going to be up and open here in the next 10 minutes. So we've got basketball, we've got baseball, we got basketball, we got basketball. Oh, that seems slow basketball today. I could really. Basketball. Apple stock. Intriguing. That's because they got hit with the the monopolization of their wallet, and I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, it's pretty much just a simp-filled basketball in the news today. That's what we got. No Bitcoin in the news today. No crypto. What make it? Just keep an eye out, because as soon as we start seeing Bitcoin here, that's when you probably need to start DCAing out. It's still pretty early though. But yeah. Oh boy. Let's dive into the news. A few cool, interesting out today. Ethereum unveils, Vitalik Buterin unveils a new rainbow staking. Ooh, exciting, rainbow. I like the rainbow chart. Vitalik tackles ETH staking centralization at ETH Taipei in 2024. Speaking at the ETH Taipei 2024 event on Wednesday, that renowned developer, Vitalik Buterin, Giga Chad in the pants, Vitalik Buterin. Have you guys ever seen that picture? I'll just look it up later. That's oh my god, it's legendary, that picture. Such staking providers haven't colluded for anything nefarious so far, but the long-term risk of those entities doing so remains a report. We have become very dependent on social pressure, said the co-founder, according to the translated report from Chinese outlet AMB Crypto. To what extent is it inevitable? He says if it's inevitable, we should be clear about whether we rely on incentives rather than excessively rely on. Vitalik continued. Blue blockchain. Vitalik continued to discuss the centralization risk of ETH staking on ETH Taipei, emphasizing that Lido, Coinbase, Balance, and others have excessive share, and introduced the idea about rainbow staking. Conceptual framework of protocols. Whether let's go to the post on X. Excessive share, and introduced the idea about rainbow staking, a conceptual framework, protocol service, solo or professional, participate in a different. That is awesome. I have to learn a little more about what this. But that is interesting. Yeah, because a lot of people, they just can't get into staking. I can't do it on my ledger because kiln is the major method to get the max yield out of Ethereum staking, and it's not I guess regulation has prevented it from being a thing in America, so I don't get access to that. And you can stake on, I mean, you can do Lido, right? But you're not getting that much in rewards. You're also, no, I don't like these lockups. So long on staking. I stopped staking last year. Yeah, the whole 32 ETH through direct. No one can do that anymore. Especially not our Zoomer friends, right? Can't do that. You don't have 32 ETH. Anyway, the minimum was originally established to avoid overwhelming the blockchain with tiny stakers. Not so tiny anymore, are they? 32 ETH that's a huge chunk of change now. Damn. However, with the minimum now worth $112,000, exactly, the economic and technical barrier to entry created a sway. The ETH holders who delegate the task to massive third parties. like Kiln, Lido. So these groups are providing liquid staking. It's a service that rewards stakers with ETH pack tokens for locked up ETH. At present, there's nearly 42 million ETH worth of $140 billion of being staked on Ethereum. That's insane. So what is rainbow staking? This is over here, right? What is rainbow staking? To remedy the issue of rainbow staking, the rainbow staking framework could allow solo and professional providers their needs. It's pretty much that simple. Really. You're gonna go from the limit having a 32 to not having to require to go through a third party like Lido or Kiln, and just doing what we, staking what we need, and hopefully we'll get a better yield, because 3% yields, they're just not worth my time. Not worth my time, man. Okay, so that's rainbow staking. Interesting. And, moving on. Moving on. Oh yeah, I think. Why is Doge up today? My God, 3 hours ago. Why is Doge up today? Who talked about Doge? I don't know. The performance of Doge is backed by a mixed bundle of one. Doge price pumps after Coinbase news. Doge price rallied after news emerged that Coinbase, the US-based cryptocurrency exchange, was planning to introduce futures trading for Doge alongside Litecoin. Damn. In March 7th, letter to the Futures Trading Commission, Coinbase Derivatives submitted a proposal for a monthly cash-settled futures Dogecoin. This is insane. This is insane. We're looking at derivatives and futures for Dogecoin now. I might have to actually start taking Dogecoin seriously. This is getting out of hand. Again, this is this is the dystopian. I can't even keep a straight face about this. This is the dystopian future we live in, where Dogecoin is a recognized coin of the future. This is insane. Holy crap. So Coinbase derivatives adding Doge. This is crazy. I don't even know what we're doing anymore. God. Oh man. So yeah, there's a bunch of other coins. I don't know why they're doing Litecoin though. They better not touch Bitcoin Cash. I gotta see that thing just go away in a fire, man. But yeah, Litecoin. I mean, maybe in the future Litecoin could be considered the silver to Bitcoin's gold, but it's not. It's a carbon copy fork of Bitcoin, man. Like Litecoin. I mean, Bitcoin maxis are not gonna like this. That's all I gotta say. So yeah, I don't want to dive into this whole thing, but basically that's interesting. We're getting derivatives based on certain tokens. Coinbase derivatives, that is awesome. And yeah, I'm sure we're gonna see many more coins go out. And it's all about BlackRock. It's all about the ETH tokenized assets for BlackRock. This is gonna get crazy and stupid. We're gonna see a lot more. Pay attention to it. Just a quick little overview. What Cointelegraph says. What happened in crypto today? Coin exec's attorney asked for more time served in alleged crypto scam. Yeah. OKX terminates services to users in India. Ooh, that's not good. That's something to pay attention to. It looks like we're getting some pushback of crypto in other countries again. Like we talked about Nigeria 2 days ago, and then yesterday Argentina. Their whole countries are getting imbalanced and flipped and by Bitcoin, and it's coming for every country. It's not just going to be the third world countries, the second world countries. Everyone's going to wake up to this. Let's pushing back in. Notice that the Indian users on March 21st, OKX, asked users to close their accounts and redeem funds by April 30th. The crypto exchange cited local regulatory hurdles as the key reason behind their decision. This is coming. We're getting crackdowns. We're getting, crypto regulation that's going to push these exchanges to the brink of collapse. And this is what happened to Binance US. I mean, they keep pushing. Coinbase to launch Doge futures. Yeah, we just covered that. It's pretty crazy. That's the all. Do Kwon still getting moved around, it looks like. If you're not familiar with Do Kwon, he is the founder of Terra Luna. Terra Luna, and that 2021 big player in space, and then it collapsed because of the shady stuff that they were doing in the behind the scenes. So Do Kwon is, yeah, he's going to court again. Hopefully he'll is coming up. So NVIDIA CEO, simple solution to AI hallucination could upend crypto, but only if it... I thought this article was interesting. So yeah, there was a Mad Money interview with yours truly, Kramer, and Jensen Huang. And that was really interesting to see him talk about just the future of AI. He showed off their new, was it Blackwell chipset? Pretty insane. Yeah, here he is there. Maybe we can dive a little bit. I don't any significant amount of this, but you can see at least the chipset here. Crazy board. Talk about multiple processors and the full motherboard setup. So this is going to be changing AI, and basically he said this is going to build AI. We're going to be building AI with their technology. I mean, it's pretty much all training it. We're already there. I mean, you've seen all these videos. I'm sure before you clicked on this freaking ad, this video, an ad popped up that says, you know, you gotta buy this. Send us. Congratulations, we're celebrating this one event. Blah blah blah. It's Kathy Wood now. Poor Bitcoin goddess is being repurposed in AI to shill these scammers. It's terrible. Like, Google, what the hell are you doing? YouTube, get with the program, man. This has been going on for years. They're getting away with this. Please don't fall for these scams. But anyway, and they're not gonna stop. Be careful. Don't ever send your coins to anyone for any reason. Keep them locked up. Do self-custody, all the things. Do all the things. Please, if you're new here, please like and subscribe. Do all the things. I am building this channel out to grow a great community where misfits like us can grow and appreciate each other in a like community. So please let me know. Always improving every day. I definitely will take in good and negative criticism. Anyway, it's unclear exactly what kind of test Huang was referring to in the term general. The artificial intelligence typically refers to a system that, regardless of benchmark, is capable of anything of a human average intelligence could do. Yeah, that's what we're headed into. The dystopian future. This is it. We're here. I keep saying that we're at the dystopian future already. Robots, algorithms, drones, they're taking over the economy. It's one of my favorite lines from the Crypto Teacher. Shout out to the Crypto Teacher. Great listen to over the years. Yeah, this is reality now. They're coming for your friends. They're going to be replacing your jobs. We cover this all the time about how AI and robotics are improving at an astounding level. I mean, now they can walk around if you take a look at the NVIDIA conference, there's a whole bunch of robots walking around on stage, and there's some right there. How crazy is it? Oh my god. We are here. The future is now. Yeah. But yeah, they're coming. AI's coming. And it's not gonna stop. It's coming for your job. Telemarketers, lawyers, data entry clerks, accountants, bookkeepers, receptionists, bank tellers, travel agents, factory workers, customer service representatives, drivers. I mean, you name it. You're probably on the chopping block too. And especially your friends, family, and loved ones, and romantic ones too. Especially the romantic ones. They're all going to be replaced with AI. NPCs and video games. I mean, we're seeing these games being developed with AI now that can basically engage in spontaneous conversation. How was your day? Oh, it was raining outside. I don't like it. It's really bad weather today. You look outside and it's still raining. In the game, like they're self-aware now. And that's kind of where we're not quite sure how self, and if they're programmed to negate that self-awareness. needed to take over, and the robots take over, and it will become Skynet and everything else with Terminator. Anywho, so yeah, that's what's going on today. Let's check Bitcoin real quick, and we'll dive into some of these other. Bitcoin sitting at 65.7. We're still kind of seeing what is going to happen here, as the markets are just now opening in China and other large nations in the foreign exchanges. So yeah, we're getting the liquidity. It hasn't really stopped, hasn't really started yet. Volume is still, but we are getting there. And yeah, jump into. There's a lot of FUD on ETH this week. A lot of FUD on ETH. So we were just talking about this earlier, about how ETH is now being considered a potential on the chopping block for being a security. It's going to kind of slow down innovation in the area, in the sector, right? It's going to stop BlackRock from tokenizing all their assets, all the stocks, all your mortgages and your cars and title to your yachts or whatever. Yeah. So this is what we're looking at. So what happens if the SEC does classify ETH as a security now in 2024? We already went down this route. It was a commodity in 2021. So, what does CoinDesk say will happen? They're saying that XRP could win if ETH is determined as a security. Gets his reputation tarnished again. Yes, he is awful. He's not doing anything he's not protecting us as crypto investors. One of the more unlikely responses is that Ethereum, which switched to a proof of stake algorithm, and what we just talked about here, about 15, 20 minutes, that reward tokens to users to lock up their tokens and network. There's been a lot of talk about ETH today, man. We've been covering ETH all day. So get me out of this ETH world we live in. I want to go back to Bitcoin. I want to go back to something more pure, more wholesome. The pioneered by Bitcoin, yes, the mining model pioneered by Bitcoin. This is itself is unlikely. It took Ethereum developers at and outside of the Ethereum Foundation years to switch to staking. Okay, yeah. Vitalik Buterin came out with the idea of Ethereum back in 2013. Even back then, he figured that the blockchain would likely need to be switched to staking, a consensus model that was at the time in its infancy. It was only in 2020, 5 years after the network actually launched, that the first tangible step towards staking with the launch of Beacon Chain. Oh man, Ethereum developers deployed and prefigured a number of testnets to experiment with switching to staking over several years, and a demerge would likely take as long. Part of the issue, apart from scaling and cost benefits of staking, is that mining is purposely process, and one of the developers were happy to say goodbye after the merge. It is an yeah, part of this right here, like the scaling, that's still a big issue with most of these blockchains. They cannot scale enough to meet consumer demand, especially in the future. Or it's going to be a big issue. But yeah, it is theorized that Ethereum's energy consumption declined 99%, shutting down critics of the crypto's environmental footprint. And we had that was a huge narrative in 2021 and 2022 was we were environmentally unfriendly, even though you know, with all the nodes running Bitcoin right now to secure the network, keep the network running and efficient and secure, it's nowhere near the amount of processing power and kids playing Fortnite right now in the world. It's just not. It's not comparable. So you're gonna say that the environmental footprint is comparable to Bitcoin mining or Ethereum, and now they went to proof of stake, so now we don't have to worry about the consumption of energy. But that also plays into another thing too, where as a commodity, Bitcoin is deemed digital energy because it uses up and stores that as value. Michael Cera likes to. So anywho, that narrative's kind of been shut down. I just wanted to kind of reiterate that for people that are new in the space, just understanding what happened back in 2021 and 2022. It's been a long road. We got a long road ahead. We're still in the early stages of crypto. This is Bitcoin maturing. It's still an infant stage. Maybe it's starting to become like a teenage years now that we're getting some mass adoption with institutions. Just taking a quick look at Bitcoin. We're looking at 65.8, 10 minutes after the Chinese opening. Back to our article. Quickly finish this up. It is impossible for me to see any outcome, as you point out, that would result in something like a merge ahead of a blockchain. Yeah, I mean, I think this is all pretty much. And even if it is determined as a security, it's just gonna set us back a freaking year or something. And you know, BlackRock's got they have their ETF in. Everyone's got their applications in. I don't think it's gonna halt ETH ETFs as much as maybe a year at most. Not seeing a lot. BlackRock gets what they want, man. They got the Bitcoin ETF going. They're 576 to 1 in terms of approvals versus, you know, I'm not sure which ETF was even disapproved in their lengthy history of ETFs. But yeah, they're gonna get what they want. It's only gonna hold us back up. Bitcoin halving may have a positive impact on prices, but other factors still come into play, and this is where we talked again about Coinbase. We covered it a little bit earlier about how Coinbase's base is picking up so much steam. We got derivatives now, so it's going to be getting Wall Street in a big way, paying out derivatives, dividends. So this is what we're going to dive into with Coinbase and factors. So the next halving event is expected in mid-April. We know this. We covered it today. It's about 25 days out. 30 days if we're going for the 2020 420 Blaze It Bitcoin halving. Historical precedent suggests that Bitcoin recent strong performance will continue into the after and coming halving, as the event reduces the supply of new Bitcoin. But investors should be wary of this view. Coinbase said in the research report on Wednesday that the world's largest cryptocurrency rose at an average of 61% in the last 6 months. Before prior halvings, and gained an average of 348% in the 6 months after. Coinbase noted, while it is possible that the halving could have a positive impact on Bitcoin's performance, there's still only limited historical evidence about this relationship. What's speculative? Yeah, we know. But this time's different. Yeah, this is kind of just a fun article. I mean, we could still be sitting at $120,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year. Even if we don't even get up that high next year, we're looking at $120,000 to $500,000 price action. On the mid ranges, I'd say maybe three. A base case, 350K. Bull case, 500K, and 125,000 for the absolute worst case. The halving big peak after the halving in 2025. So yeah, not really worried about it. Anyway, MicroStrategy seller offered to buy out shareholders before buying Bitcoin. This is again another Coinbase. You know, MicroStrategy is doing the same thing. I mean, Coinbase is doing the same thing as MicroStrategy. We have the same thing going on again. MicroStrategy is also offering to buy shareholders. And I'm assuming he's getting maybe some of his investors are getting a little annoyed with his constant recycling of shares to Bitcoin. But it's his company, man. Arthur Hayes said it best in his interview. I covered a little bit of that yesterday. He said it best yesterday. He's like, F it. It's his company. He can do whatever the hell he wants. You know what I mean? And he said that what Michael Saylor has been doing is unique because most of these companies are not held by a single man, right? They're not they're head by giant boards and have more control over the asset management and stuff of the company. Yeah, I mean, what Michael Saylor is doing is totally not something that every company can do, or you know, can back. This is really cool to see that he's still doing this, doing it in his own way. He's basically giving the middle finger to, you know, to the government. And yeah, we're fighting off the devaluation of the dollar. The dollar is now depreciating at an average of 10 to 15% a year. Michael Sauer likes to liken it to a melting ice cube in your hand. Watching a melting ice cube. Yeah, it's no bueno. No bueno. Anywho, we already went over one moon day. Then we're just going to kind of look at this. This might be a good place to call it for the night. Bitcoin's is still kind of going up as the market is opening up in the foreign exchanges. 9:15 now. So yeah, we're gonna see some price action tonight. I don't know how much we're gonna see a move. If I were China right now, and Shanghai is looking at, in Singapore, are looking at seeding their ETFs for their country. If I were them, I would be buying this low key on the back end, as we're still cheap, because we did have a large pullback from our all-time high, and getting in before the FOMO, because these countries, I mean, like Nigeria and Argentina and El Salvador, and it's only a matter of time. Mexico is going to be up there, and other nations that are struggling against the dollar or have a large gap between our valuation of the dollar and the peso or the denari or the mark or the ruble or the rupee or whatever. And that, yeah, we're already seeing that happen in India. So now that's going to be the next one we're going to hear an article about tomorrow. India pushes back on crypto. It's devaluing and basing their, because we're all-time highs at every single country. Every nation right now is sitting at all-time highs. We may have fallen down, but man, they've been sitting at all-time highs now for, I think it was like, it's been like a month now. It's only been a couple weeks for us. So, something to think about, pay attention to, because it's only the beginning. Only the start. So yeah, it looks like we're about to test 66,000 resistance right here. 5 is what we're looking to pass tonight. Market's open. Afternoon. So if we can't get past 65 tonight, 66.5, as long as we hold 65, I think we're good. Those are the levels we're looking at, staying in between. I'd say we're probably going to break up above that and then test it again. See if we break it. We broke it yesterday, so if we were going to take a similar measure move from yesterday, we'd probably be similar measure move would take us to 71, 72. But we still have to get to seeing anything like that. And then on top of that, we gotta still get through our resistance of our previous all-time high. Look at that, still sitting at strong resistance. But that's gonna be our key level for especially we don't break out by Friday. If we see another big grayscale sell-off, again, they're in big turmoil right now, just trying to get their ducks in a row. I mean, between the grayscale ETF, the new ETF, the trust being converted into the new ETF for their clients, and the SEC pushing back, basically appealing, not being able to convert their trust fund into an ETF. It's just going to be an S. So they're doing this on purpose to hold this space back, because we're moving at an alarming rate. I never thought we were going to be moving this. I never thought institutions were going to be buying this. I mean, it's insane. Wall Street's getting on board. And I'll leave with a little bit of that too. Don't you forget. Pompliano said,
like Bitcoin, they love Bitcoin. If you think of these assets, there's been over 5,500 ETF launches in history. Never have we had a fund get to $3 billion in AUM in the first 30 days. BlackRock and Fidelity both just did it.
Yep. We got the largest inflows into any US ETF in history. He said that, I think it was a week after the ETF. But yeah, They don't just like Bitcoin. They love Bitcoin. Don't forget that. So with that being said, I'm going to call the stream tonight. Please keep your crypto safe. Get it off the exchanges. Keep it in cold storage. Self-custody your crypto. Maintain your wealth. Fight for financial freedom. Because you know it. We are living in this dystopian future. This is where we are. Welcome to the future. It's here to stay. Have a good night, guys. Keep your funds safe, like I said, and don't let your dreams be dreams. Buy Bitcoin. Otaku out. Later. Someone's still here. Well, if you're still here and enjoying the show, I'm not gonna keep you, but I say thanks again for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, do all the things, yada yada yada. Thanks again for turning out. I appreciate it. Thanks. Have a good night.